right now. I can't even barely, I have to listen to everybody on speakerphone right now because it's 2 years old. They gave me an update and now it's like dying, so I get another phone. It's like I'm onto this shit. Okay, so I'm doing a documentary about the impact of technology and how it's a fucking devil, and then I'm with this guy, this bro guy, that thinks technology is fucking great. So I try to kind of say this, but it's not fun conversation for anyone to have. Nobody wants to like really hear this. He likes his gadgets, okay? He's set up his life that he's got his little fucking gadgets. So again, I'm like, Maggie, when in Rome, you're a little broke ass, bored, lonely girl. Just enjoy his cool air-conditioned apartment and all the gadgets, and let him talk about how this fucking this like freaking little koozie is really a way to make beer. Like you throw in hops and cinnamon and then it comes out beer, and it's all technology. Like, so I'm like, okay. So the only answer to all this emotional turmoil I'm feeling is to get a little buzzed. Okay, I know this is my pattern. So he's kind of interesting when it comes to alcohol, because he's like, oh, I have this sherry I got in the south of France. I have this Irish whiskey I got when I was traveling with my father in 2006, and it's been aged in a barrel. So he's like kind of got some interesting facts. He's pulling out some alcohol. So I'm like, okay, cool. We watch, what do we watch on Netflix? That Will Ferrell, stupid but funny movie. It's fine if you're drunk or high. So we watched some Will Ferrell movie on Netflix, and he's going to leave, and I'm like about to leave because like we're not even touching. I don't even know. I want to cuddle with them, but I didn't like want him that bad. I was just lonely, and I knew I was a little buzzed. So I'm like, okay, Maggie, use your brain. Maybe you should just like remove yourself from the situation so you don't end up sleeping with this guy. Well, you have a buzz, and then he's like part of this friend group, and who knows, you're going to see him around town, and what if it doesn't go anywhere? Do you even want it to go somewhere? So I'm like, okay, use your brain while you still aren't super drunk and leave. So I go to leave, and he's like, wait, I really want to kiss you right now. I'm like, okay, this kind of got interesting. You're finally, for the first fucking time, like actually saying what you want with me or your intentions. It's all been like, we're just friends. Let's just hang out. And I'm like, oh, okay, so you like me. You want to kiss me. So I think I didn't give in right away. I was like, oh, that's weird. And then we just kind of were finishing up the movie. I'm still talking about how I want to go. And then I put my foot on him. I'm like, okay, I can play this game too. I put my foot on him. And then I'm starting to get a little hornier, and, I reach over and I kiss him. And the kiss is okay. It's okay. It's not like my 3-month relationship guy, the douchebag. For some reason, like, we super connected on a sexual level. This guy's got, like, a pretty good kisser, but he's, like, a little faster with his tongue. He smokes, so it wasn't, like, as clean of a mouth. And I was in a weird spot because I didn't know if I liked him yet. He hadn't tricked me good enough into thinking that I liked him. So, but I'm just going with it. I'm kissing him, and then like I felt his penis get a little hard. You can feel it when you're pressed up to somebody. And so then he starts to like touch my boobs, and I like touch down there where his penis is, and I realize, okay, it's like super hard. It feels good. I'm feeling hot and heavy at this point. I want to sleep with him at this point, but it was all just hormones or whatever it is in the body that just like has this urge to orgasm. It was because his penis was hard. The kisses were okay. I had a little buzz, and I'm feeling horny. And I'm like, okay, Maggie, try to be an adult and realize maybe that's not the best decision. Okay, considering you're in a small community and you don't even know if you like this guy, you don't know anything about him really, so why don't you just remove yourself from the situation? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna be an adult tonight. It's not gonna be fun. But I stopped. I like pulled myself away, and I just did like the dramatic movie move where I'm like, it's not you. You feel so good, but maybe we shouldn't take it so fast. I'm just like, I'm going to leave. And it was hard to go. It was hard to go because he had a huge king-size bed and air conditioning. I don't have air at my house. and I'm just going home to be alone and sleep. And I'm like, oh, it's boring, but just like do it. So I leave, and the next day he chats me up on WhatsApp and is like, we'll have to do it again sometime. And I'm like, okay, yeah. By this time I was like, do I even want to do it again? I don't know. It depends on who else comes around. Will there be somebody that I'm actually more attracted to? So a week goes by, and this is the end of the story. I'm going to tell you how he got blocked from everything. Okay, and how I'll never talk to him again, and what happened. So a week goes by, we're sort of sending each other messages here and there. I'm bartending at this new place, so I'm busy in the evenings. He does some weird elusive marketing job, and his business partner's in town, so we couldn't really get together. And I don't like chatting people up too much online. So 2 days ago, the day the kitten dies, I want a beer. The kitten's still alive, and it's been just a whirlwind day. So I go into this bar across the street that has overpriced beers and snotty bartenders. I don't really even like it, but the whole friend group from the people next door, the guy that has that apartment, and all the bartenders love going to this place. So I see him, the guy that I'd made out with, in the bar. I walk in, and of course I accidentally walk in this store, and they're like, no, can't go in this store. And then so immediately the vibe of the place, everyone's wearing the workers were wearing masks. But I'm saying it's just not a friendly environment. There's places that you feel friendly, and there's places that you don't. So I'm like, I'm walking into some weird energy right now. I go to the bar and I see my neighbor, the guy, the older 60-something guy that hosts these parties. He's with the guy I made out with and the guy that runs the beer program at that fancy beach club I was telling you about that I went to. So I knew all three of them. So the guy that's my neighbor's basically lets me know right away that I'm not welcome in that bar by saying a few condescending things. Oh, I've seen your Facebook posts, and you're not welcome in this town. And he goes from what I thought being a friendly neighbor to being really rude and loud in this bar that I already am feeling weird in. And so there's tourists scattered around, and there's a couple bartenders I've met at random events and bars, and it's embarrassing. And so it escalates, and he starts basically screaming at me, saying that he's seen my Facebook posts, and you can go look at them. I talk about free speech and how the government is telling us what to do with these masks. I talk a lot about Black Lives Matter. I talk about the future of the country, what freedom is. I bring up a lot of questions on my page, and this neighbor wasn't having it. He starts screaming at me, and he's so close to me, and he doesn't have a mask on, and I walked in with a mask, and he's telling me he's seen me on the streets without a mask on, and I'm like, okay, so we're policing other people's behavior now. Don't you see how that's a little scary? And then he's like, you're gonna spread the virus. And I'm like, okay, first of all, how do you know that? And then he's like, have you been tested? So he's spinning out in this crazy way. And I'm like, oh, so does it require testing now to go into a bar? What are you talking about? I don't even have any symptoms of this disease that kills less than 1% of the goddamn population. What the fuck is wrong with you? So he's spinning out and all this, and I'm like, you're the one that has been hosting these parties the entire quarantine with all this friend group, and now you're asking me if I've been tested and talking about me being on the streets without my mask. And here is the kicker: that fucking piece of shit that made out with me, that's friends with my neighbor, didn't even say a word. He's standing next to him, and then his little friend that runs the beer program are just basically agreeing with my neighbor who is yelling at me about my Facebook posts, telling me I'm not welcome in this town. I rent here. I live here just as much as they do. And he basically just let the whole thing happen because they're all, and I turned to him and I said, you're one of them. You're one of them. I don't want to separate people and their ideologies right now. and how they feel about what's going on in the world, and the fact that they're not people that ask questions, they're just followers. But I knew that he was from the start. I ignored it. I went out with him. Thank God I didn't sleep with him, because it'd be a whole different like dynamic if he'd like been inside my body. It's like I start to like get more attached than I should. And so I just looked at him. I said, you're one of them, and I blocked him. I blocked the neighbor. I blocked that guy. And I never want to fucking talk to him again, because they're all part of the same group that doesn't want to talk about anything deeper other than their own stupid, clattering conversation that's centered around consumerism and hate. And I hate to just call them leftists, but they're leftists. And I'm unraveling all of this in my mind, my feelings about all of this. But now I know that I'll never fucking go to his house again, never kiss him again, and fuck him, basically. So that was my date. How long did this take to tell you I'll never fucking talk to that guy again? And I'm now in a fight with my neighbor. Not a fight. I'm just going to never talk to him again either. So that's the state of where we're at with the world right now, and that's scary. And if people don't see that kind of behavior from people is scary, then you're blind. Okay, that's all I got today. I gotta go get ready. I think I'm gonna go to the beach later. I still want to talk to you about this girl, Danny, really special girl that is in my life right now. Not as a lover. I'm not bisexual, but as a thought developer for me. Like we have an energy where we can create laughter and new ideas and thoughts. And I want to tell you about her and how she came into my life and how I recognized her. Okay. Thank you for listening. To anyone who got through this, like, bless you. Okay. Bye, everyone. Thanks again.